Hello everyone. This is Oliver Ochre once again from Ochre Dev channel. We are still on our project where we are building a Django dictionary website. So in the previous episode we set up our Django project and initialized the base configuration for the Django project. So in one last thing I forgot in the previous video is that we didn't commit our project to version control. So we are going to do that in this video, and we'll start with the templating. So we are going to use Git for version control. So we're going to initialize a Git repository with Git in initial Git init. So before we commit our work to Git, there are some unnecessary folders and some files here that we do not want to commit to Git. So you need to generate a git ignore file. So let's get one from gitignore.io. So if you have a project where you don't have an idea of how the gitignore file should be like, you can get a copy from gitignore.com. So our project is a Django project. Okay, so let's create one. Okay, so we copy everything that is here. Okay, then we come into our project. Then at the roots directory, we create a gitignore file. Okay, then we paste everything here. Just that's nice. Okay, so now we can go and commit our files to Git for version control. So git add everything in the repository, in the directory, then git commit. So the message is going to be episode 1 initial preview and initialized Django projects. So before we commit it to Git, I want to keep each episode on a separate branch. So before we do this, let's cut this one. Let's cut this command from there, and let's copy it, and let's make a branch. Okay, git branch, git checkout episode 1. Branch episode 1. Okay, since I'm getting some error, no object. Git checkout -b episode 1. Okay, so now we have been able to switch to a new branch. Sorry for those hitch-ups. So now let's make a commit. And so now I have been able to commit the previous episode to a separate branch. So in this video, what you are going to do, we will commit it to a separate branch, and all will be committed to a GitHub repository where you can have access to the source code for a particular episode. So let's get into today's work. So let me clear the terminal. So in today's episode, we are going to build the template, and we are also going to initialize our app that is going to handle the searching and returning of the results for the word that has been searched by the user. Okay, so we are going to create an app that is going to handle the searching of the word and having contact with the Rapid API. So to create an app in Django, you start with python manage.py start app, and we are going to call it the dictionary app. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm in the wrong directory. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, so now let's initialize our Python, our Django app that is going to handle the searching of the word. So Django manage python manage.py start app, and you're going to call it the dictionary app. Make sure you have your virtual environment enabled. So as you can see here, there was a directory has been added to our Django project. So it's called the dictionary app, just as you called it. So that's our app that is going to handle the searching of the word. So Django does not recognize this as a part of the project. So to add it to the project, or to help Django recognize it as a part of the project, you have to add it to the installed app. So to add it to the installed app, it is going to be the name of the app, the dictionary app.apps. There is a name here that is very essential. So you use the same name, copy the same name, then you add it at the end. Okay, so now Django recognizes as a part of the Django project now. So now we are going to move on to the templating. So one common thing in Django or in Django projects is that they usually have a base file or a base HTML where most of the template inherit from. Okay, since we are using Bootstrap, we are going to copy the starter file from Bootstrap and use it as our base template where other files or other templates will inherit from. Okay, so let's copy and paste it over here. Paste. Okay, nice. So let's change a few stuff here. The title of our app, this one is going to be Django Dictionary. By Dev. You can use your name if you want to. So since other files are going to, or other projects, other templates are going to inherit from this base.html, you are supposed to specify where and which part the content of the other HTML should be inserted inside the base.html. And we do this in Django with the block tags. So we create a block tag called content. Okay, so that's how it's going to be like. but I want one thing to span throughout every template that is going to inherit from this base.html, which is going to be the navbar. So the navbar is going to be constant. It won't change from template to template. So we are going to copy a navbar from Bootstrap, where we will get it from component. We'll go to navbar. Okay. Okay, so let's get this simple navbar. This simple looking navbar. I think this is it. Let's use this instead. Let's use this instead. Okay. Then let's paste it here. Stack it in a little bit. Nice. Let's change this one to the name of our project. This is a Django dictionary. Django dictionary. Okay. I like it. I want the dark theme one, so let's change this one to dark. Let's change this one to dark. Okay, nice. Our app is our template is doing good. So I'm going to go ahead of myself and create a dummy view that is going to serve this template. So let me go ahead of myself and create that as soon as possible. Okay, so I just finished creating the dummy view and a dummy URL that is going to serve up our base HTML for us to see the changes. So let us start our server to see how it is going to look like. So to start our server, it's python manage.py start server, run server instead, sorry, run server. Okay, so we have an error. It says that the secret key must not be empty, but inside our file we specify in our settings.py we specify our secret key that it should be sourced from the .env file, which is this, which has been set here. So for our terminal, in case you get, maybe you might not get this problem, but in case you get such a problem, to solve it you have to source the .env file, then run python manage.py run server again. So source.env. Now you have sourced it. So let's run our server once again and see whether it's going to work. Python manage.py run server. Okay, our server is now running neatly. Nice one. So now let's open it up. Let's open up our view to see how our base.html is looking like. So home, sorry, localhost. Okay, so our styling is coming through. This is how far you have gotten. Nice one. Let's continue. So one thing that is to structure our project in a nice manner, we are going to group each app's template, or the template that will be served by a particular app, in a directory inside the templates directory that corresponds to the name of that particular app. So let's do it so that you'll be able to get what I'm trying to say. So inside the templates directory, we create another directory called dictionary app. Okay, so this dictionary app is going to serve templates that are going to be rendered by this dictionary app. So we need an index.html file. That's what you are going to use. Index.html file. Okay, nice. Okay, so now we have a file for that. So let me change up the the dummy view so that it renders this this template instead of the base HTML file. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so I've changed up I've made up the changes on the dummy view to render this index.html. So let's have a look at how it's going to be like. It looks like nice. You see home, that's what we set here. That's the only thing that is here. So let's continue. So previously I said that every file or every template is going to inherit from this base.html file here. This base.html file that is basically a bootstrap starter file, or a bootstrap starter file. Yes. So let's inherit or let's extend this base.html inside the index.html. To extend that, to do that, it extends its base. Because that is in the directory, you have to go back. Then index base.html. Okay. So I also said that now we have extended base.html inside index.html. I also said that the content of index.html should be placed inside a particular block for it to be rendered inside the base.html. So let's say we will not put anything inside the block, and let's put anything. Let's say home. Let's see how it's going to look like. You see the home doesn't come through, but there's a home here. So for the content of index.html to appear or to be rendered inside the base.html that has been inherited from, we have to create a block with the same name as the block name here. Here we call it content, so we create another block here called block content. Then we are going to put our stuff about index.html here. So let's put index.html inside, and let's save and come here. Let's refresh and see whether it's going to work. Beautiful. You see it's now coming up now. So now let's go ahead and write our HTML. Okay, so I'm going to change my templating from a Django template to a normal HTML, so I'll be able to use Emmet. Okay, so let's continue. So we are using Bootstrap, so we are going to use a container div that has a margin on the y-axis of 5. Okay, then we have an h1 that is centered. And it's also light, not black, so like grayish in color. So we are in Bootstrap, it is called text muted. That is going to be the H1 is going to be the name of the website or the dictionary app. So you call it header into bracket the Django dictionary. Okay, so let's preview it and see how it's going. Beautiful. That is it. Let's continue. So you are going to create the form that is going to accept the input from the user. So you are going to use Bootstrap's grid system, which is through the row, the margin top of 5 colon. So we want the form to be centered in the middle, so we are going to create this one. Oh, sorry, colon dash nd dash 2. Okay, it's going to be empty. We are going to create another one again. That is where we are going to keep our form. So colon dash md dash 8. Okay, so that's where we are going to keep our form. So it's going to be a post form. The action is going to should post to the current URL. So it's not going to contain anything. So we are going to use an input form from Bootstrap that adds an add-on to it. Let's take a look at how it looks like. Let's come to Bootstrap, go to forms, go to input groups. Okay, and so something like this, it has an add-on to it, an add-on. So let's copy this one, let's copy this. Okay, come here, let's paste this inside. Now let's change this in to search word. Okay, so now we need a submit button. So we are going to use Bootstrap's button once again. So go to component, go to btn. Where's the button? Okay, nice. There's the button. Okay, so I want the button that spans across the div. So we are going to use this block button. So let's copy this thing here. Okay, let's put it below control. So we need just one button, so let's take this one out. Okay, let's change the type to a submit button. Let's change this one to search. Okay, so let's have a look at how it's going so far. Okay, nice one. This is perfect. Okay, so let's move on. Let's continue. Okay, so now we are going to move on to where the word of the day is going to be shown at. So let's get out of this row system. Okay, let's come out of the row. So let's start another div again. Another div, empty. A div that has a margin top of 4 and has its text centered. Okay, so inside it we are going to so let's continue. So let's create another div with a row that is using Bootstrap's grid system, the 12 grid system. It has a margin top of 4 and its text are centered. Okay, let's pass the first 3 columns off. md-3. Let's pass it off. Then let's continue. Div as a colon of mb-6. dash 6. Okay, so it's going to contain, this is where our word of the day box is going to be. So it's going to contain another div called container. That has the container class dash and another class name called word box. Okay, so inside the word box we have an h3 with a margin button of 2, and the text inside is going to be underlined, so we are going to use the U statement, the U tag. So word of the day. Okay, then next is going to be the word of the day itself, and margin heading for margin bottom dash 2. So let's use a placeholder for it. Let's just put word. Okay, so and the definition of the word is going to be here. So the definition NB also has NB-2. Then let's use a lorem placeholder for that. Lorem-2. Okay, so now let's save it and have a look at how it looks like. Beautiful. It seems the words, the definition is a lot, so I'm going to cut some off. From here. Oh, okay. I think this is fine. This does the job well. Nice. This is how I want it. Perfect. So let's move on to where the search result is going to show up at. So okay, so let's come out of this row and create a new row. So we're gonna have a div that uses Bootstrap's create system div row dot. It also has a margin top of -5. Okay, the first 2 columns we won't use it. Then the next 8 columns we are going to use. Here is supposed to be MD, called MD dash. Okay, 8. Okay, you're on the right track. So here we're going to show the title, just search results. So search results. Then we have another row of div column dash MD dash 6. It's going to use the flex property of Bootstrap, so use the flex with a justify content center, justify content space between content between and an align center, an align items center. and a margin top of 3. Okay, so here is where you are going to keep the definitions of our word. So you're going to have, let's have a look at it. Okay, so okay, looking perfect. So let's continue. So now we are going to show the word itself, the word that has been searched for by the user. So use a placeholder of word, then the pronunciation of the word. Okay, so H says pronunciation. Okay, let's have a look at how it's going. Perfect. So there's the word, and the pronunciation is going to be here. So let's continue. Now okay, so we are going to show the definitions now. So the definitions is going to also have its own def. Definitions.mt margin top of 5. Okay, so I have an h6. That tells us that this is the definition. And a p tag that is going to use. So this is where the definition itself is going to be. Okay, so a layering of 0.5. Let me see if the words are a lot. Let's delete a few from it. Okay, perfect, nice. So this is the definition box. So let's go to the example box. Def.example dot has a margin on the x-axis of 5. I just want to shift it a little bit inward from the line where the definition starts from. So 5, then has an h6. It also has an h6 that tells us this is an example. Examples. Okay. Then the examples are going to be beneath it. Lorraine times 0.2. Oh, always plenty. This thing is annoying. Okay, so now you are done with the example div now. So we are going to move on to the synonym div. So div.row, the synonym is going to be in a row, and as a div, the first 3 columns we will not use. We are going to use the first 10 columns. So dash mb dash 10, and the margin top of 3. Okay, we are on the right track. So tell us that this is the synonyms. So synonyms. All right. Don't worry about this guy. So the synonyms are going to be in buttons that are a line by itself. So you are going to use a flex property. So inside this synonyms, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting projects. Don't forget to also leave your comments inside the comments panel below. I'll be expecting your thoughts about the project. Synonym it's going to have a depth of d flex. So we are using the display flex property of Bootstrap, and align items, align dash items center, and a justify content. Okay, we won't use a justify content. Okay, so we are going to keep our buttons over here. So normal button, button dot use Bootstrap's button system, button styling, secondary dot mx dash 2. Okay, so let's put some dummy word, Kwame. Let's duplicate it. Control V. Let's copy it and paste it a couple of times. Okay, right, so let's preview it and have a look at how far you have gone. Okay, nice, beautiful. We are almost done. That is very beautiful. Such a nice work. Nice. You see how everything is falling into place. All right. So I think that is all. That is almost all for this. But I want to put a box around this word of the day. I want to put a box around it. So we are going to do that with our own custom styling. So we are going to use the static. We're going to store our CSS in the static folder, then we'll render it here. Okay, so for us to use our custom CSS, you have to put it inside the static folder. So during the first episode, we did some configuration here, and I said that the static files, which are the CSS JavaScript that are going to be used in our project, are going to be kept in a folder called the static. So let's create a folder inside our root directory and call it static. Okay, so let's create it static. Okay, so under the static, if it was a large project, we are going to group them into the particular functionality that static file is going to be. Maybe it can be a CSS, it can be a JavaScript, or it can be a static image that we are going to render on our website. But this, you are going to have just one static that is going to be the CSS for the styling of the word of the day box. So let's create a CSS file inside the static folder. So we're going to call it style.css. Okay, so during our templating of the word of the day box, we gave it a class name. Where is it? Word of the day. Okay, so we gave it the word box class. So let's call on that one and style it word box. All I want to give it is a padding padding of 5%, then a border around it that is going to be 10px, solid, and black. Perfect. So for us to be able to use our this file, so in case let's move up here. Let's say we are going to render it directly from the base HTML file. So let's say we link it up directly. So link, oh no, let me change up my templating to an HTML. To an HTML. So let's say we want to add a link for CSS. Okay, so let's say we do it in this way. The Django will, or the web server will look for a file called style.css inside the template folder, which does not exist. So for us to be able to use the file that is inside the static file, we have to load in the static files. So to load in the static files, you call load. Let me change back to Django. Load, then you load in static. Static. Beautiful. So we have now loaded in our static. For us to be able to use the static, we have to call static and specify the particular file that we want. So we do that with static call. And what's the name of our file? It is called style.css. Beautiful. Nice one. So now let's go back to our browser and refresh. Beautiful. Wonderful. It didn't come true, so let me inspect it quickly and see where the error is coming from. Word box. So let's have a look at what we called it. Word box and styles of CSS. Okay, we have an error. We forgot this T here. So let's refresh our page once again and see. Once again, let's refresh. Beautiful. This is what I wanted. So basically we are done with the templating of our Django project. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new to it. This channel is all about building projects in different programming languages, Python, frameworks like Django. We'll be building projects in Vue.js, JavaScript, Golang. We'll be building projects in a whole lot of languages, so it's project-based learning. So don't forget to subscribe, share on YouTube, share on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you want to share it. Make sure you share it so that others also get in touch of my content. So let's continue. So we are done with this episode, so we have to commit it to Git. Let's create another session here. Okay, so Git status. Let's see what has been changed. Okay, these are the things that have been changed. So let's do a git add. Okay, let's do a git checkout branch. let's check out dash B, episode 2 switched. So get commit, let's do a get status once again just to verify some stuff. Okay, so now let's push to this branch, get add, get commit, episode 2 added, dictionary app, let's add the dictionary app and templating. Okay, so we are done with this episode. Thank you for watching this episode. I know it was a tough one with this templating and other stuff. Okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section too. Let's hit the subscribe button. Let's hit the like button. Let's give the YouTube algorithm some scare, and let's push my content up. Thank you very much for watching and for having a time with me. Goodbye. See you on the next episode. Bye.